And as promised earlier on this week, today we're back for the Schools and Agents Bulletin, and today we're holding the bulletin on a Thursday instead of our regular day on Friday, because as we have already announced, tomorrow we have a very special live broadcast coming up, which I will mention once again at the end of this video today. But for the time being, let us focus on the topic that we're going to be talking about today, and that is specifically our digital marketing campaigns. In fact, in today's broadcast, I've chosen to speak a little bit about how to have a successful digital marketing campaign. We've spoken about this in some of our Marketing Monday articles, in some of our How to Tuesday articles, but today I'd just like to kind of summarize and share a few tips with you over here on this video. And I believe that when it comes to having a successful digital marketing campaign, the first thing that you need to make sure of is to actually have a strategy. So you need to know what your target is, you need to know who your target audience is, you need to know what message you want to communicate to your target audience, because like that, you have the starting point for your strategy. If you don't have a strategy, you will end up doing a lot of random things, kind of firing aimlessly, so to speak, without actually knowing what is successful and what isn't. Another important reason for having a strategy is because, like that, you can monitor. And obviously, through monitoring and through checking insights, you will know what is successful, what is not so successful, so you can modify and fix that for the next time round. So I think the starting point of every successful digital marketing campaign is to have a strategy. The next point, and this is something I'm always going on and on about, is to be consistent. It is important that once you start something, if a campaign, for example, consists of posting once a week on your social media channels, you need to stay consistent with that. And if you are going to make any changes to those kinds of plans, kind of like what we did today with the Schools and Agents Bulletin, we've made an announcement that what is normally scheduled to come out on Friday at lunchtime this week, what came out on Thursday at lunchtime. So we made an announcement to notify our readers and our followers that there has been a change in our plan. By communicating and by keeping your readers and your followers in the loop, you're ensuring that your message continues to reach the right channels as much as possible. And even though I've done this myself today, but as much as possible, my suggestion would be to not steer away from the plan. But obviously, things happen, things get in the way, things take priority. And if we need to make changes, then the important thing is that we notify our audience of the changes that we are making. And like I said at the beginning of this point, stay consistent. So just because I couldn't hold the Schools and Agents Bulletin tomorrow, as I normally do, I didn't cancel it for this week. I still decided to hold it on a different day. So that is what ensures consistency. Another thing which I firmly believe in and I think is super important is to have one target per digital marketing campaign, one target per campaign. You might have multiple campaigns going on at the same time, but each campaign needs to have one target or what we refer to as a SMART goal, one goal per campaign. Why? Again, because having one goal makes it easier to monitor and easier to follow up on and analyze once the campaign is over. So that is another thing that I recommend and I suggest for a successful digital marketing campaign. Obviously, once you start, but perhaps it's not so obvious because I've seen campaigns which start and don't finish, follow through. If you have a target and if you have a strategy, this is also why a strategy is important, you need to see the campaign through from start to finish. If you stop the campaign halfway through, then you're never going to know how successful this has been, or if it could have been more successful, or if it could have been successful at all. Perhaps you decide to stop it because you're not very happy with how the results are going. I still suggest that you see it through until the very end, because it's only once you have a clear picture in front of you that you can understand where and what went wrong. So always see it through from start to finish. Obviously, I've been talking a lot already about monitoring and analyzing. In marketing, it is a well known fact, we love statistics, we're stats nerds. And I firmly believe, I cannot stress this enough, monitoring statistics gives you a very clear indication and a very clear picture of a breakdown of your marketing campaign. So, checking social media insights, checking email shot. If you use, for example, a newsletter software, an email shot software, checking the insights from there, looking at heat maps, looking at percentages, at open rates, where have people clicked, what are the things that have triggered your followers to click on. What are the topics that generated a higher opening rate or that generated more engagement on your social media channels. So these statistics are what's going to show you whether your marketing campaign has been successful or not. And if it hasn't, this is when it becomes even more interesting. If it hasn't, these kinds of statistics will show you where you went wrong, how you can improve the next time round. And to bring me to the final point that I have prepared for you today, once you have these statistics in front of you, whether it has been a successful campaign or not, do sit down and do your homework. Sit down with your team, discuss, look at what you've done, look at how you can improve, because it is only that way that you continue to build and you continue to improve your digital marketing strategy. As far as digital marketing strategy goes, this is what I had prepared for you today. Like I promised at the beginning of this live broadcast today, I just want to remind you to tune in and join our live broadcast tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a special live broadcast prepared for you. We will go live at 3 o'clock UK time, 4 o'clock Central European Summer Time. And we are very pleased to have Ella Tyler from Lead 5050 join us on our live broadcast tomorrow. With Ella, we will be discussing all things Lead 5050, including the developments of the organization. And most importantly, we will look at the awards that will take place in Berlin at the beginning of November, right before the ISEF workshop. So don't forget to join us tomorrow in the afternoon with Ella Tyler right here on the Schools and Agents social media channels. Thank you for being with me today, and I'll see you again next week for our next Schools and Agents Bulletin.